Hello friends, welcome back in my another lecture in series of lectures in probability and statistics. As you know, we had discussed so far four discrete probability distribution, and now today I'm going to discuss about fifth type of discrete probability distribution, that is hypergeometric distribution. Again here the random variable x will be discrete random variable. So let's start hypergeometric distribution. This is the fifth type of discrete probability distribution. Let a box uh, contains b white and r red balls. Also let we draw a sample of n balls at random. N balls at random without replacement from the works. Further, let x be a random variable. That number of white balls selected. Now first of all, there is no a general formula, proper formula for hypergeometric distribution. So we will generate general formula from this example, considering two types of balls, two colors. One is white and another is red. So let x be random variable number of white balls selected. Then probability of getting x white balls out of n, where x is less than n, is given as, this is probability of small x is equal to small x, and and the favorable outcomes are vcx into rcn minus x, and total outcomes are b plus rcn. Now how this is coming, let's see. Where x is varying from 0 1 2 up to, and this is minimum of n or m, whichever is the minimum of n and m, then this will be up to that. If n is minimum of n and v, then this will be up to n. If b is minimum of n and v, then this will be up to v. Now how these favorable outcomes are coming, this is clear here. How many balls we have to draw? We have to draw n balls. We have to draw n balls. Means if you are drawing x white balls, because random variables in term of white balls, so probability of x is equal to x, means we are drawing, this is probability for x white balls. If you are, so x white balls out of v, since x white balls out of b can be selected in bcx base. This is bcx. Now we have already drawn x balls. How many total balls we have to draw? Total balls we have to draw n and x we have already drawn. So how many left? N minus x, so that this sum will be n. It means we have to draw n minus x balls more. So we have drawn x balls from white, so it means rest of all we will draw from red. So also remaining n minus x balls out of r, it means, now we are left with r, can be selected in rcn minus x base. So total balls drawn are x plus n minus x, so this is n. All right, so these are the favorable outcomes. These are multiplied because of fundamental principle of counting. So favorable outcomes are these, and total balls are b plus r. So out of b plus r we have to select n balls. So this is favorable outcome and this is total outcome, and which means this one is the density function. This is also denoted by f of x or p of x. This is the density function for hypergeometric distribution, and discrete random variable capital X is said to follow hypergeometric distribution. Note, the mean and variance for the hypergeometric distributions are, this is mean or expectation e of x, and this is equal to nb upon b plus r. This is mean, and variance of x, this is also denoted by sigma square, and which is equal to nbr b plus r minus n divided by b plus r whole square into b plus r minus 1. Must remember these two general formula, there is no any proof. So n, you know, total number of balls to be drawn, b number of white balls, r number of red balls. Right, rest is clear there. So next, note number 2, let the total number of white and red balls be n, that means b plus r, that means b plus r is equal to capital N, while the proportion of white and red balls are p and q, and q is 1 minus p respectively. That means the proportion of white ball is p, and that of proportion of red ball is 1 minus p. 1 minus p, reason being because if there is no white, it means there is red. Therefore the p, this is a probability of white balls. Total favorable outcomes will be b, favorable outcome for this will be b, and total outcomes are b plus r, because there are two types of balls in the works. Also probability of q will be 1 minus p, so this is 1 minus b upon b plus r, b we cancel this, so this will be r upon b plus r. So from here, what is b plus r? B plus r is n, so this is b upon n. So from here b will be equal to np, and also from here this is r upon n. So from this result r will be equal to n into q. So these are the values of b and r. Now I am going to substitute. Therefore from this result, therefore probability of x white balls, this will be equal to bcx, b is np, so this is npcx. Next is r is nq, so this will be nqc n minus x whole divided by b plus r. B plus r is n cn. So this is the density function. Now revised density function in term of these notation, capital N, alright, and p and q. Also mu e of x, your expectation of x, this will be nb. N is as it is. Now what is b upon b plus r? B upon b plus r, b upon b plus r is p, so this will be np, and variance of x from here n. What is b and r? B and r means multiply these two, so this will be n square pq. B plus r is n, capital N minus small n. Next is b plus r is n, capital N square, and this will be n minus 1. Something else, n square cancel, so this will be npq, capital N minus small n, divided by n minus 1, because these two cancel each other. Just substituting the value of b and r from these results. So these are the revised mean and variance, and this is the revised density function. Alright, so we have generated a general formula from there. So this in a practical problem, there will be not every time white and red ball. It means there will be just two types of colors. If one color is of denoted by b, then other color will be denoted by r. So this is all about mean, variance and density function for hypergeometric distribution. Now I'm going to solve some problems on hypergeometric distribution. Now the first problem is box contain 5 red and 10 white marbles. If 8 marbles are to be selected at random without replacement, then using hypergeometric distribution, determine the probability that 4 are red, all white, and at least 1 red. So first of all, let x be a random variable that white marbles selected. So total balls here, so must remember this formula, p of x is equal to small x. So this is BCX, and this will be further RCN minus x divided by B plus RCN. So this is the density function for hybrid geometric distribution. So now random variable is in term of white marbles. So if you suppose one color to be white, then other will be red. So here let us suppose one first color, the white is B. So here B is equal to 10. It means R will be 5. R will be 5, and N number of trials are 8 because 8 marbles are to be selected. Number of trials N is equal to 8. Alright, so since we have, it means we have to select 8 marbles that are drawn. So what is the probability that 4 are red? 4 red means now the random variable is in term of white marbles. So 4 red means, convert first of all this in term of white. So 4 red means 4 white, because total 8 marbles are to be drawn. So 4 white means, because random variable in term of white, so P of x is equal to 4. Now use this formula. B is 10, so 10C4. R is 5, so 5C. 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4 is 4 divided by B plus R. B plus R is 15. C 8. So this, which on simplification will come out to be 70 upon 4 to 9. Just substitute the value of B and X R from here into this formula. So this is the probability of 4 red. Probability of all white, because 8 marbles are to be drawn, all white means x must be 8. Now again use again this formula. B is 10, so 10C8. Next will be R is 5, 5C. 8 minus 8, this will be 0, divided by total will be 15C8. So you can check here, 4 plus 4 white and 4 red. So 8 marbles are to be drawn. If all are white, so no, there will no any red marbles. Which on, this is one which on simplification will come out to be 1 upon 1 4 3. Similarly, the third case, probability at least one red. Probability at least one means 1 minus P of no red, because this result is like A, P of A plus P of not A is equal to 1. So at least one red is event like A and not A, and not A is like not red. No red means all white. No red means all white, because first of all we are I'm converting this in term of white, because random variable is in term of white. So all white means, because 8 marbles are to be drawn, so P of x is equal to 8. We already know this probability. P of x is equal to 8 is this one, 1 upon 143. So this will be 142 upon 143. So these are the probabilities of these events using hypergeometric distribution. Now come to the second question. If 13 cards are to be selected at random without replacement from an ordinary pack of 52 cards, then using hypergeometric distribution, find the probability that 6 are picture card and no picture cards. First of all, let x be a random variable that picture cards selected. Now, as we know, total cards are 52 playing cards. Total cards 52. How many picture cards are there? 12. Picture cards are 12. 12 means these will be jack, queen and king. 4 jack, 4 queen and 4 king. So picture cards are 13. Now random variable is in term of picture cards. So here number of trials and number, because we have to draw 13 cards, so number of trials n is equal to 13. Picture cards are also picture cards are 12. Picture cards are 12. 4 jack, 4 queen and 4 king. 12. Picture cards are 12. It means other cards will be 40. Other cards, rest of cards will be 40, because 40 plus 12 is 52. That is, if you suppose this to be B, if one color is supposed to be B, if picture cards are V, it means other cards will be R. So R will be 40. Therefore, by hypergeometric distribution, this is by hypergeometric distribution. Therefore, by hypergeometric distribution P of probability of 6 picture cards. 6 picture card is because random is in term of picture card, so P of x is equal to 6. Now use this formula again. This formula B is 12, so 12 C 6 and rest will be R is in this case 40. How many left now? Because 13 cards, so we are left with 7 n minus x. So 6 and 7 is a 13 because total 13 cards we have to draw. And multiplication because of this formula B plus R is 52 and we have to select 13 cards at random, and this probability on simplification will come out to be 0.027. It's just a combination. Similarly, probability of none picture card, because random variable is in term of picture card. None picture card means P of x is equal to 0. P of x is equal to 0, so this will be 12C0. Next will be 40. It means all we have to select 13 cards because there is no picture card, divided by 52C13, and which on simplification will come out to be 0.018. So this is about this problem using hypergeometric distribution. Must remember, use this formula whenever it is mentioned that you have to find probability by hypergeometric distribution. Otherwise we know we know how to find the probability of these kinds of problem by simple probability, right? Because there is no without replacement means we have to draw 8 cards one by one. We already know this formula because it is mentioned there. Use the hypergeometric distribution. That means you have to use this result. If one, there will be only 2 colors. If one color is B, then other color will be R. If one card is B, then other card will be R. Now come to the sixth type of discrete probability distribution. Again, in this case, random variable x will be discrete random variable. So Poisson distribution, this is a limiting case of binomial distribution. Limiting case of binomial distribution under the following condition. First is n mean number of trials are very large. N number of trials are very large, that is n approaches to infinity. And P, this is the probability of success for each trial. P is the probability of success for each trial is indefinitely small, that is P approaches to 0. N are number of trials very large. P, the probability of success in each trial which is same and which is indefinitely small. This will close, this will be approach almost to 0. And third is mean of the binomial distribution is NP, and which will be equal to lambda. Say lambda, where lambda is a finite, means mean of binomial distribution will be finite, that is lambda. From here, what will be value of P? P will be lambda upon n, and therefore Q will just opposite of P, 1 minus P, so 1 minus lambda upon n, where lambda finite means where lambda will be any positive real number. So let us suppose this result to be 1. Now since we know if random variable x is binomially distributed, then probability of x success will be in n trials. In n trials will be given by this formula. F of x is equal to small p of x, which is also equal to capital P x of x, and equal to n c x p raised to power x and q raised to power n minus x, where x is varying from 0, 1, 2 up to n. Now substitute, open this one time, factorial n, factorial x, factorial n minus x. Substitute the value of p and q from here. P is lambda upon n raised to power x, and q is 1 minus lambda upon n raised to power n minus x. Now simplifying it more, open this n, next term will be n minus 1, next will be n minus 2, and so on, continue in this way. Then there will be term like n minus x plus 1, n minus x, and this will continue. If you let us suppose I am opening this up to here, reason being because there is n minus x in the denominator, n minus x in the denominator, x factorial. Now why x is coming there? Because x is less than n, because n are the total number of trials, and x is the out of which x are successive. So x will lie somewhere between n and 1, because n, if you open, this will be up to n, and this will be up to 1. So I am opening this up to here, so actually these two cancel each other now. Left next is this one, open this is lambda raised to power x upon n raised to power x, and next last term is 1 minus lambda upon n whole raised to power n minus x. So we are left with n minus 1, n minus 2, so on n minus x plus 1 whole divided by factorial x n raised to power x, and next term is lambda raised to power x 1 minus lambda upon n raised to power n minus x. Now check here, here in these factor, how many factors are these? First, second, third, and which one factor is this? How many total factors are these? You can check here. N is in every factor, so it means x is here 0, 0, next is 1, next is 2, so on up to x minus 1, x minus 1, because n is everywhere. So x is 0, 1, 2 up to, take minus common, so this will be x minus 1. So this is AP, geometric arithmetic progression. So its last term is given by a plus n minus 1 into d. Actually we want to find how many factors are these. Last term is x minus 1, first term is 0, n is n, common difference is 1, common difference is 1, so 1 1 cancel, so n will be x. So total number of factors are x. This is first factor, second factor, third factor, xth factor, right? So if you take common n from all of these factors, so how many n will be outside? See here, this is already common. Take 1 n common from here. This is 1 minus 1 upon n, 1 minus 2 upon n, so on continue in this way. This will be 1 minus x minus 1 upon n, n. How many n will be outside? N raised to power x, because all n are in multiplication. X n will be outside, whole divided by x factorial n raised to power x, and here is also lambda raised to power x into 1 minus lambda upon n raised to power n minus x. Now n raised to power x, n raised to power x cancel each other. This n raised to x is coming because we are taking 1 n common from all of these x factor. All right, so we are left with lambda raised to power x upon x factorial. Now open this one also. If you open this, this will be 1 minus lambda upon n raised to power x, and rest is 1 minus 1 upon n, 1 minus 2 upon n, so on continue 1 minus x minus 1 upon n, and last term is 1 minus lambda upon n raised to power n, because I have split it this power. This is n and minus x, and minus x is plus x, because I have shifted this to denominator. All right, now taking limit n approach to infinity both side, apply this limit both side. So what we will get, this is limit n approach to infinity p of x is equal to small x. Now apply the limit here. If you put n is equal to infinity, this is 1 upon infinity 0, so this factor will be 1, this factor will be 1, this factor will be 1, this factor will be also 1, because x is constant. We are applying limit for n. This factor will be also 1, so we are left with lambda raised to power x, x factorial. All of these factors are 1, so next is limit n approach to infinity 1 minus lambda upon n raised to power n, and rest of all of these factors are 1, because something upon infinity is 0 and 1 minus 0 is 1. Now use this formula. Since we know limit n approach to infinity 1 plus k upon n raised to power n, this is e raised to power k. So compare this limit with this one. What will be here? Lambda raised to power x, x factorial. What is here? n, in place of k there is minus lambda, so this will be e power minus lambda, and this is p of x is equal to small x, limit n approach to infinity. That is, therefore discrete random variable capital X is said to be Poisson distributed if its density function is given as, so this will be f of x, p of x, this is p of x is equal to x, this is lambda raised to power x e power minus lambda upon a factorial x, and where x is 0 1 2 so on, continue in this way. So this is the density function. So why this is called why Poisson distribution is limiting case of binomial distribution? Because this is the because its value, its density function is limit of its density function is limit of density function of a binomial distribution. That's why this is limiting case. So limiting case. All right. So must remember this formula. This is density function for a Poisson distribution. Here we know lambda is any positive real number that and summation p of x must be equal to 1, because this is discrete random variable. So sum of all the probability must be equal to 1. So this is density function for a Poisson distribution, which is a discrete random variable, where x is discrete random variable. Now I'm going to find mean variance. Mean of the Poisson distribution. Mean of the Poisson distribution is lambda, that is e of x will be equal to lambda. This can be easily seen from here, since we know e of x is summation x into f of x, and x in this case is varying from 0 to infinity. This will be x. What is f of x? As we know, f of x in this case is lambda raised to power x e raised to power minus lambda upon factorial x. So this will be lambda raised to power x e raised to power lambda upon factorial x, 0 to infinity. E power minus lambda is constant. Open this one time, so we are left with the lambda raised to power x divided by x minus 1 factorial. Opening this one time, x cancel, so we are left with this one. So now in this case x must start with the 1 up to infinity. Reason being, because in this case x is varying from 0 1 2 so on, continue. If you put the smallest value of x here, so this factorial will be 0, and lambda power will be also 0. So what should be x, so that this factorial will be 0? So x should be 1. In order to make this power of lambda 0, we must write here minus 1. If you write here minus 1, you have to write outside lambda, because lambda raised to power 1. If you multiply these two, this is still lambda raised to power x. So this is lambda e power minus lambda. Now open this, put x equal to 1. So this will be 1. All right. Put x is equal to 2. This will be lambda upon 2 1 factorial. Lambda upon 1 factorial. Put x is equal to 3. So this will be lambda square upon 2 factorial plus so on, continue. So this is exponential series. You know this type of result. E raised to power x is 1 plus x upon 1 factorial plus x square upon 2 factorial plus so on, continue. So this will be lambda e power minus lambda. So this will be this is exponential x, and this is exponential in lambda. Multiply these two, this is 1, so this is lambda. So mean is lambda. The variance of Poisson distribution is also lambda, that is variance of x is equal to lambda. We can easily check it, since e of x square will be summation, instead of x there will be x square f of x. As we know, this is 0 to infinity, because x in this case is a discrete random variable, so there will be summation. Similarly here summation is because x is a discrete random variable. Now open this summation x square, this is lambda raised to power x e power minus lambda upon factorial x, 0 to infinity. This further can be written as summation x square minus x, this is plus x, lambda raised to power x upon x factorial e power minus lambda, 0 to infinity. Now multiply these inside, this will be summation x minus 1 lambda raised to power x e power minus lambda factorial x, and next it will be summation x lambda power x factorial e power minus lambda. This is 0 to infinity, this is 0 to infinity. All right, open this 2 time, so term will be like e power minus lambda is constant. If you open this 2 time, this will be x x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 1 cancel, so this is x minus 2, opening this 2 time, x minus 1 cancel for numerator and denominator, and rest is here is lambda raised to power x. So x in this case must start with the 2 to infinity, because reason is we have to make this 0 and this power 0. In order to make this power 0, we must write here minus 2. If you write here minus 2, you have to write here lambda raised to power 2. Multiply these two, this is still lambda raised to power x. Similarly here e power minus lambda is constant, summation, open this one time. If you open this one time, x cancel, so we are left with x minus 1. This is lambda raised to power x. So in order to make this factorial 0, x must start with 1. In order to make this power 0, you must write here minus 1. If you write here minus 1, then there will be lambda power 1. Multiply these two, this is still lambda power x up to infinity. This is lambda square e power minus lambda. Now open this summation. First term is 1, next term will be lambda upon 1 factorial, next will be lambda square upon 2 factorial. Put 2, 3, 4, so on, continue in this way. This one, this is lambda e power minus lambda. Similarly, put x is 1, 2, 3 here, you will get 1 lambda upon 1 factorial, lambda square upon 2 factorial, plus so on, continue in this way. So this is lambda e power minus lambda. This is exponential series in lambda e power minus lambda. This is also exponential series in lambda, so this is also e power lambda. This is 1, this is 1, so this is lambda square plus lambda. So this is value of e of x square. Therefore we have to find variance. We know variance is e of x square minus e of x whole square. E of x square, just evaluate it, lambda square plus lambda. What is e of x? E of x is already lambda, we have evaluated lambda square. These two cancel each other, which is equal to lambda. That's why variance is also lambda. So in case of Poisson distribution, mean and variance are equal. That is mean and variance both are lambda. Now come to the third case, moment generating function. The moment generating function for Poisson distribution, this is general formula, m of t is expected value of v of tx. Since we know this result, this is summation x f of x, because x in this case is a discrete random variable. So in place of x there is exponential term, so this will be summation 0 to infinity e raised to power tx f of x. This will be summation e power tx 0 to infinity. As we know f of x, this is e power minus lambda, lambda raised to power x upon x factorial. Substitute this value here, e power minus lambda, lambda raised to power x upon x factorial. E power minus lambda is constant, summation, multiply these two, there is x in power, this is lambda e power t, in both power there is x, divided by factorial x, 0 to infinity. Now open this exponent series. So first term will be 1, next term x is 0, next x is 1 means, and this will be lambda e raised to power t upon 1 factorial. Put x is equal to 2, this will be lambda e power t square upon 2 factorial. Next this will be 1, continue. This is exponential series, we know this result, e of x 1 plus x upon 1 factorial, x square upon 2 factorial, plus so on, continue. This is exponential in x and this is exponential in lambda e power t. It means x in this case is lambda e raised to power t. So what will be this series? This is first of all e, and in place of x is this power, this is lambda e raised to power t. Just substitute in place of x here this value, you can check it. This is exponential in lambda e power t and this is exponential in x. Now multiply these two, so what will be, lambda will be common, this will be like lambda e power t minus lambda, lambda is common, so e power t minus 1. So this is the moment generating function for Poisson distribution. So friends, in this lecture we have discussed two types of discrete probability distribution. First is hypergeometric distribution, and then we have discussed Poisson distribution. In both case we have find, in this case we have find mean, variance, and mean, variance and moment generating function, Then also we have done a derivation for Poisson distribution, because this is a limiting case of a binomial distribution. In this case also we have find mean variance and has solved some problems related to hypergeometric distribution. So this is all about this lecture. Thank you.